Hello, how you all doing? Welcome to this Enlight tutorial. In this Enlight tutorial we are going to do the sunglasses reflection effect. It's a really cool tutorial. I really enjoy sort of making this effect and applying it to different objects as well. So it's not just sunglasses that you can apply it to. Just think of the things that you could apply a reflection to any sort of mirrored surface or not mirrored surface to. But yeah, it's really cool. It's an advanced tutorial, or I would say intermediate to advanced, but I'll try and make it as easy as possible for you. So let's get on and do it. Obviously you pick an image that you want to choose. I've just chosen these two free stock images, just purely to show you that it can sort of be done with any images really. So you get the sunglasses image firstly, or the reflection image firstly. What I'm going to do, I'm going to tap the screen to get my toolbar on the side pop up. Just close those filters down, go to image, I'm going to go to adjust. The first thing I'm going to go to in the adjust is the tools and then basic. I'm then going to select offset, and when you select something it turns blue, as you know, and I'm going to make the offset -100 by just sliding my finger across the screen like so. Once that's done, I'm going to select mask, and then I'm going to select clear, and this will clear the effect that we've just applied. So it will clear the black effect that we've just applied, and you'll notice right away the apply button is colored blue, so it's selected. So all I'm going to do is then apply by stroking my finger over the screen like so, and I'm going to leave it zoomed out for now, and you can apply the color that you've just removed. Now that was just purely a demonstration, just to go around and you just color over what it is that you want, that you have just cleared. So I'm just going to select clear again, and this time when I apply, I'm just going to apply that effect to the lens. The only reason I did the last showed you the last sort of way that I did it was just to emphasize what I'm doing. So I've just zoomed in, pinched and squeezed the screen and zoomed in, and then all I'm going to do is just apply that effect with my finger swipe to the actual lens of the glasses by coloring in. Obviously as you go to the edges you're going to need to be a little bit more careful, and if you do get to the edge and you notice I've got the effect on the actual rim of the glasses there, not to worry, I will remove that. I'll show you how to in a minute. So I'm just going to zoom in a little bit more to do the more delicate areas of this image, and if I have got parts like this that I want to remove, I select the wipe, zoom into where it is, select the wipe, and just remove that effect from where I've just applied it to. So I'm just going to move across, select wipe, and remove what I've just done to that image. So then I'm going to go over to the other lens. You notice that I went off the screen a little bit there with my finger, so I'm just going to click the little back button here to undo the last two effects. Then I'm going to look at the other lens and do exactly the same to the other side with my finger. Just wipe around the other side. When I get to the center I can speed up a little bit, make it a little bit quicker, and again when I get to the intricate parts I'm just going to zoom in so I could do these areas like so. It doesn't matter if you go over the edges too much. If it's a real big part of the edge that you've gone over, you can either undo like I showed you before, or you can zoom in a little bit more, select the wipe button and just wipe away the parts you don't want like so. It doesn't have to be perfect. You see if I zoom in it's not exactly perfect, but it is somewhere. I'm just tidy this bit up a little bit. It does at least look like the lens. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to click the flatten. The flatten is this little button down the right hand side. I'm going to click the flatten on that because I want to stay within the same sort of tools area, so I can do that by just clicking the flatten button, not the apply in the top right hand side. So I'm going to go back to tools, I'm going to go to basic, offset is already selected from last time, so make sure your offset is blue and it is selected. And this time I'm going to turn the effect, swipe my finger over to the right hand side, so my offset effect is +100. I'm going to select mask, select clear, and this time what I want to do is apply that white offset effect to the remainder of the image. So I'm going to leave it zoomed out so I can do big chunky swipes like so. I'm just colouring in with my finger, being careful not to go onto the lens of the image. And again, I am being quite random, or quite careless with the big swipes. But then when I need to be careful, I'm zooming in a little bit more and just colouring in the areas and including the lens, including the rim of the glasses. Because all I want left is just the lens of the glasses. I'm just going to keep colouring in, zoom out and in as I see fit. I'm getting to the lens, be a little bit more careful, so I'm zooming in a little bit more. Just go around the lens, make sure I'm happy. It is a little bit time consuming, but don't worry too much about it, because we're rewarded, I promise you, with a great effect at the end, and just with a little bit of creativeness from yourselves, you can sort of achieve great effects, great images with this applying these effects that I'm showing you, or applying these techniques that I'm showing you, should I say. Zoom in a little bit more, just make sure I'm happy with all of the areas. I went over a little bit there, so I can go wipe and just wipe that area off. See, there's an area here not covered. Okay, once I'm happy that I've got all of this, see, I want to wipe this part here. So I'm happy that I've got my two lenses and they're just black like so. I'm going to click the little tick button in the top right hand side. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to save this image out with this button here at the top, and then just save that photo. Don't worry about it, we've got that photo, so we can revert back now because we've saved it. See in the bottom left down here on the screen, so we can revert by clicking our back button back to the image that we originally started with. Now what we want to do is we want to select this image that we created with the two lenses, the two black lenses, and then I'm going to tap the screen to get my toolbar up, close down that image, go to Tools, Mixer, and select my second image. I'm then going to resize by pinching and squeezing the image to a size that I'm happy with. I'm then going to go to Tools, Blending, scroll across to the right hand side and select the Lighten. Then I want to just, with the Lighten selected, select Tools again and just move that image to where to somewhere I'm happy with it. So resize, you could resize like so, or you could just move the image around. All I'm doing is pinching and squeezing to resize and then moving the image around with my finger. So I want in the lens that you can actually see the phrase keep running with obviously the person in. You can actually make it out what it is, and you can see that quite easily like so. I'm going to go to strength, so just select the strength and make sure it's up to 100 like so. Once I'm happy with that, I'm going to click the little tick button to say yes, I'm happy with that, and then I'm going to go back to my glasses image, so my original image like so. I'm going to tap the button to open up my sidebar, keep the tools open, go to Mixer once again, and then select the image that we just created with the glasses and the keep running behind it. So now what we want to do is we want to pinch and squeeze this image until it snaps. You see it snapped into place to say that it's exactly the same size as the image below it. Watch, snap into place, to say that it's exactly the same size as the image below it, then all you have to do is move it to the left or the right. There are actually lines on the screen to say that it's centered up, but you can't see the lines because there's a white background. So once we're happy with the position, we're going to go to Tools, Blending, and then we're going to go up here to Lighten. And this is what you would normally do. You would normally go to Lighten like so, and then you would turn down, sliding my finger, the effect. So we get Lighten like this. If you immediately don't see the sunglasses, don't worry too much about it, because you notice on the Lighten it's on 100, which is going to turn down the effect, so we can see to around, depending on the image, I would say, so you could just see the background of the original image that you created. I'm going to select this plus lighter because I like this effect, but I'm not going to select it yet, because if I select the plus lighter, I have to turn down the effect to see the background image because it's plus lighter. So I'm just going to select the Lighten and turn it down to around 50. Don't worry too much about it, because we can change this in a minute. I'll show you. Let's go to Tools, and let's go to the Erase button. Now all I'm going to do is erase the outside of the Lighten effect, and all I'm doing is swiping with my finger. And again, if we need to get closer, I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to erase it around the rim of the sunglasses as well. And all I'm not doing is touching the main reflection or reflective part of the image, which is the lens of the glasses. So I'm just going to round the side. You notice that didn't take too long at all. Make sure that we're happy and we've got rid of all of the Lighten effect. Then I can go back to Blending, and I can turn that effect up if I want to, and I'll see where I've missed. And I've missed here, so I'm going to go to Tools again, go back on that so it moves it back, go to Erase, and then just remove these edges like so that I've missed. Then go back to Blending, and then change the blending mode. You can even go to the screen or the plus darker, which I wouldn't suggest. Color burn, you could go to that, but I like this plus lighter because I just think it gives a sort of a nicer reflection, and especially I'm going to add a filter to this in a minute, so and I'll show you exactly what I mean once I've added the filter to it. So once I'm happy with the effect that I've chosen and the intensity of the effect that I've chosen, I'm going to click the little plus button or the little tick button in the top right hand side. I'm then going to go to Filters, I'm going to go to Duo, and now just with this image this works nicely because it's a nice summery image, so you might have to look for alternative filters or alternative colors to match your image. So I'm going to go to Tools, Shape, make sure we're on linear, go to Tools, Color. My color 1 I'm going to make red, and my color 2 I'm going to make yellow, like so. And then I'm going to go to Position with my finger. I'm going to pinch and turn this position, and with these anchor points, these little arrows, I'm just going to open them out a little bit so it extends the colored effect, like so. I'm going to go to Blending mode. Now you can experiment with the blending modes if you like. I quite like this hard light. I quite like the multiply also. Quite like the darken. So I like a lot of these effects when you apply, and all I'm doing is applying the duo color. I think this is quite a nice effect with the Lighten. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the multiply, sorry, not the multiply, the hard light, and just ramp it up a little bit. And this is the effect that I'm looking for. I'm happy with that. I'm going to click the plus button. I'm going to close that down. I'm going to save out my image like so. If you have any questions, any problems, or any points, please leave them in the description below. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks a lot for your time. Have a great day. Bye.